interested in ancient Egypt history, culture, eager to understand those overwhelming stories and the mythologies?
Yes.
Okay, so let us begin to today's topic, the secrets of ancient Egypt. Please pay attention because later, at the end of my presentation, I will ask you a question. Okay, first, I'll introduce who built the pyramids. Can you make a guess of who built the pyramids? Are they the Egyptians or the slaves from other countries?
Slaves from other countries.
Slaves. Are there any other answers?
Both. And it makes it good.
God? Okay, that's an interesting answer. Okay, let's check out the answer. Okay. Despite the prevalent myth that pyramids were built by Israeli slaves, Egyptologists have proved that the pyramids were built by paid Egyptian laborers. So you're wrong. The evidence shows that around 20 to 30,000 laborers were recruited from poor families around Egypt to complete this construction around a period of 20 years. Laborers were extremely respected for this work and fed like royalty. The work was incredibly dangerous and hard. However, people who died during the construction would have a high honor of being buried near the sacred pyramids. And second, I'll introduce the medicine of ancient Egypt. I think everybody knows that ancient Egyptians were renowned for their medical knowledge, so much so that the rulers of other empire would request the pharaoh to send Egyptian physicians to treat their own ill loved ones. Despite Egyptian doctors having an extensive medicinal properties around the plants they plant, they still have something. The cures for ailments include a magical spell, as well as herbal remedies. Many cures are based on sympathetic magic. For example, there's belief that a crushed up pig eyes used in a treatment could transfer the light in the patient's eye. Do you believe that?
No.
No, excellent. Okay, so now I'm talking about the white pyramids. You may be curious, because in our knowledge, the pyramids were usually brown or dark, not as the color like white. However, when the Great Pyramids of Giza completed in 2560 BCE, it was plated with a smooth surface of polished white limestone, which just shows its light under the sun. And however, in 1301 CE, a massive earthquake hit Egypt and loosened many of the casing stone. So the empires of Egypt decided to transform the rocks from the Egypt down and try to make a mosque in Cairo. So what we can see now of the Great Pyramids of Giza is only its core structure. Let's look at the right picture. What we can see of the pyramids of Giza, what's left, is only on the top, and most of the limestones were being rocked off and made into the mosque. And the picture below are the pyramids of Giza in the imagination. And now I would like to talk about lost female pharaoh. When we talk to pharaoh, what is the pharaoh in your first impression?
Beautiful.
Yes, it's Tutankhamun. But now I'm talking about this pharaoh is special. She is a successful pharaoh that ruled the ancient Egyptian, but almost lost to history until her story was discovered on the temple walls in 19th century. Her name is Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut came to his throne during 1478 BCE, and under her control, the Egyptians enjoyed a period of peace and prosperity. Hatshepsut cultivated beneficial trade routes and incredible construction projects throughout her kingdom. However, 20 years after her death, her successor starting a campaign of erasing Hatshepsut from history. The successor destroyed Hatshepsut's statues and scrapped off her names from the buildings she built. And then we're talking about the sunken cities, Thony's Hieroquinone. Thony's Hieroquinone is one of the greatest cities in ancient Egypt. However, it remained lost for 1,000 years until it was discovered underwater 20 years ago. Although it is founded in 7 BCE, it is the most important city that it is a major center of trade in ancient Egypt, linking Greece, Egypt and Mediterranean together. Archaeologists excavated the site and found that there's a host of perfectly preserved pillars of hieroglyphics on it, and there are many statues of Greek gods and pharaohs. It is believed that the discovery of these lost cities could transfer a deep connection between ancient civilization. And then we are talking about the biblical plague. The evidence of the biblical plague was the evidence of the biblical plague which ruined the ancient Egypt in the Old Testament prove that it is because of global warming and volcanic eruption. And for the reported of the Nile Lake, which river was turned into red 3,000 years ago. And that was a hypothesis of a bacterium which called burgundy blood algae. The burgundy blood algae will attract flies, lice, and frogs, which also cause to the infected livestock. And more evidence about it is the Santorini volcano, 600 kilometers from Egypt, and it erupted, bringing the ash in the air and blocked Egypt. And finally, I will talk about the insects. In the modern world, most of us know that the insects will cause to the damage of our offspring. However, in the ancient Egypt, in the mythologies, the deities were married to their siblings. So insects are for generations are in the royal family. For example, Tutankhamun is one of the cases. He is suffering from malformation, infection, and genetic disease, which is hardly to work without others' help. And he died at the age of 19. So after my presentation, I would like to ask you, what is the part you like?
Medicine.
Medicine one?
Some cities.
Okay. So no matter which part you pick, I'm glad that you still remember something from my presentation. And that's all of my presentation. Thank you.